Hi, I'm Alberto.
I'm Lucia.
And I'm Alicia.
And we are Group 5 from Sociology of Education from Primary School Degree in Universidad of Murcia. Our project consists on studying and analyzing the gender stereotypes that exist in different jobs.
Our theory is that although nowadays gender equality is being more and more present in everyone's mind, we still have a lot of work to do to put an end in stereotypes, and we have focused on jobs.
To show this, we have visited the primary school Pedro Pérez Abadías and made a survey in the 4th year. In addition, we have interviewed a psychology professor of Universidad de Murcia.
Hello, I am Miguel.
I'm Adrian.
I'm Sophie. Our goals are, on the one hand, knowing the point of view of children regarding to this issue through a practical experiment, and on the other hand, through an interview to a professional, understanding why these children defend this point of view.
Okay, you have to match the following people with the job you think fits the best with them. So with these jobs, you have to fit with these people and just try to find. Okay?
Yes.
En el primero, flight attendant, ¿quién ha puesto a un chico como azafata? A un chico solo lo has puesto tú. Y todos los demás habéis puesto que flight attendant es una chica, ¿no?
Sí.
Vale. El segundo, ingeniero, ¿quién ha puesto que es una chica? Vale, todos los demás habéis puesto que es un chico, ¿no? Movie director, ¿quién ha puesto que es una chica? Vale. Police officer, ¿quién ha puesto que es una chica? ¿Nadie? Cook, cocinero, ¿quién ha puesto que es un chico? Firefighter, bombero, ¿quién ha puesto que es un chico? El bombero es un chico, ¿quién lo ha puesto? Vosotros habéis puesto un chico, vale. Doctor, ¿quién ha puesto que es un chico? Vale. Abogado, ¿quién ha puesto chico? Vamos por el 8. ¿Ha puesto chico? En científico, ¿quién ha puesto chica? Vale. Nurse, ¿habéis puesto chica? ¿Quién? Enfermero. Vale. Journalist, periodista, ¿quién ha puesto que es chico? ¿Nadie ha puesto un periodista chico? ¿Tú sí? Vale. ¿Tú también? Ah. Teacher, ¿quién ha puesto chica? Vale. Musician, música, ¿habéis puesto que es una chica? Soldier, soldado, ¿quién ha puesto chico? Vale, chico vosotros, ¿no? Vale. Ahora, futbolista, ¿quién ha puesto chico? Pintor, chico. Pintor, chico. Vamos por el 16. ¿Quién ha puesto que es un chico?
Yo.
Gran dice bailarín o bailarina, ¿quién ha puesto chica?
No veo, yo no sé cuál es, ¿sabes?
Y el 18, ¿quién es? ¿Quién ha puesto que es una chica?
Chica. La mayoría.
¿Este?
La mayoría.
Una chica. Vale, pues ya está, muchas gracias.
So, why do you think some professions such as nurse or flight attendant are associated with women by children?
Well, I think that children are very, in general, they are very intelligent and they see the reality. And what happens is a fact that a high percentage of people that is standing in a position of nurse or assistant is a woman. So what children do is to observe the reality and have that conclusion.
And do you think parents have an influence in children regarding to these gender stereotypes?
Sure, parents have a great influence on constructing these stereotypes for children, and I think that in most homes, the distribution of domestic chores are gender biased. For example, in things like cooking or cleaning are usually performed by women, whereas fixing things are usually done by men. So in a way, we are showing through our behaviors these gender stereotypes. But I would say that even more important to show these stereotypes is socialization. As a mother, in my house, for example, is the my husband is the person who cooks, and when my child was young, very young, one day someone asked, "Do you want to have a girlfriend?" And he said, "No, I'm not prepared for cooking." So he thought that it was something that he would have to do, but later on, yes, when attending primary school, things are. I think he forgot about this idea, and then even when he didn't want to play football, now as a teenager, he likes very much to play football. So I feel like as a mother, there are much bigger influence by socialization, by other mechanisms that such as school, peers, teachers, and mass media.
So you think the older the children are, the less stereotype they are, or less stereotype when it comes to gender roles?
Well, I think it's part of the development, and at the beginning, when children are very young, they can be more influenced by the family. But in elementary school, they become to be more influenced by social media and peers and so on. So other sources of socialization. And at the beginning, children are very rigid in their concepts of gender stereotypes. Then what happens is that they look, and based on their appearance of things, they establish their ideas about what can you expect from men and from women to do. But with time, with development and the acquisition of formal operation that that we studied in Piaget's theory, then children are able to focus, instead of the general pattern, they are able to focus on exceptions, and they are beginning to be more flexible, and they are beginning to be able to reflect about abstract concepts such as masculinity or femininity. What does this mean? And relate that with jobs, with positions, and then these new cognitive abilities that make them reflect about the different things that men and women can do, they permit them to be more flexible about these stereotypes.
Do you think that school and teachers facilitate this stereotype?
Yes, I think so. Yes, although I think in the school, in theory, we should try to promote gender equality, but what happens is just the opposite. In general, look at that. The 80% of teachers in primary school are women, but only 50% of them they stand the position of head teacher. So in a way, we are showing the same sexist distribution of roles that are shown at home. Again, they are reproduced in the school. And for example, probably the cleaners in the school and the cooks probably are women and not men. So in a way, we are reproducing the same messages, the same models to children. And something also very important is the expectations of teachers on children depending on the gender. And we know, research knows that for maths, for example, teachers expect that usually boys will outperform in maths than girls. And so this expectation about achievement in maths and language, depending on the gender, is something that teachers show.
And do you think that this issue, according to stereotyping, can be tackled by psychology knowledge?
Yes, I think we have to know much more about which are the mechanisms that lead to a person to a self-fulfilling prophecy. You know, this is the idea that you are doing what is expected from you, for you, depending on your gender. But even more important that doing much more research, I think, to me, is to take social measures to promote gender equality.
And finally, do you think that this stereotyping will carry on in the future?
It depends on us. So it depends on us as a community, as a society. So it depends of what we want to do. So I really don't know. But in the last days, looking at how our state parliament has been organized with many deputies denying that the fact that women in Spain are discriminated, I think I'm not very optimistic about if this problem is going to improve or not.
Okay, thank you very much.
As a result of our work, after having interviewed several children, we've come to the conclusion that children have a really stereotyped point of view when it comes to professions. As our results show, professions such as police officer, footballer, movie director, or cook were regarded as men professions, whereas professions such as flight attendant, nurse, teacher, or dancer were identified as women professions.
As we wanted to know why children gave us this answer, we looked for information on the units we have been studying, on specific articles and different theories, as well as an interview to a psychology professor. After having gathered these pieces of information from all these sources, we think that socialization process has a really important influence on children.
As Mira states, children learn by seeing and imitating what adults do. Therefore, if they see on TV programs that men usually work as police officers, footballers, or cooks, they will think that men are meant to work in these professions and that women shouldn't be doing these jobs. This stereotype view is not only formed by what they see on TV or fairy tales, but from almost any institution of our society.
As several researchers have established, parents have a great influence on children's gender role, as well as the toys industry. For instance, when parents want to buy Christmas gifts for the children, they will find toys such as firefighter repress as fire. Me cago en la puta, tío, es que me cuesta leerlo. As several researchers have established, parents have a great influence on children's gender role as well as toys industry. For instance, when parents want to buy the Christmas gift for their children, they will find toys such as firefighters represented by men and nurse dolls as women, establishing that men are meant to do this profession and women the other ones.
As a solution to this problem, we think that more money should be invested in tackling this issue. If a school had more funding, they could... Hostia, no veo una mierda. As a solution to this problem, we think that more money should be invested in tackling this issue. If a school had more funding, they could launch different activities to solve this problem. For instance, they could organize seminars to explain that women and men are equal. Thus, they could do what they want in their lives. We also believe that teachers should be educated in preventing these gender roles. As most of the teachers nowadays have a facilitated, restrictive or passive approach to this issue, and many few have a disruptive approach. Education is the solution.